Sunday, August 11th, 2019. And I'm your host, Michael James Ott, for the Pro and Con Show. Welcome to the show. This is actually, in full disclosure, a makeup show for a show I missed this past weekend. I had trouble getting some things done, so I am doing them now, trying to make up for them. Yeah, so I was looking at the news today, and again, the function of the show is to encourage us to listen to each other, okay? To be open to opposing views, to be better citizens. And on Breitbart, let me just see if I can make this. So somebody captured on the wonderful thing that is the internet, Chris Cuomo, who is a CNN anchor on a couple different shows, I think, on CNN. And they captured him. He got in an altercation, a heated altercation, certainly on his part. It was quite the tirade. That's the right word, tirade. So lots of strong language and anger. A fellow called him Frito. And Chris maintains that is a disparaging term for people of Italian descent, and it's a very strong video. If you want to go find it and watch it, fine. And the reason why I'm doing this show on this particular topic is, there is such a very high level of anger and hate these days, and I think it's a big part of it is it's being pushed upon us by these two political parties and the people that try to be our puppet masters. But it also there's I don't know. And I mentioned Bill Maher in yesterday's show. So Bill Maher has said on again, being an astute observer, said on several occasions that we just seem to be getting too sensitive. And so I call this show Sticks and Stones. When I was a kid, I was the last of 6 kids, and again, full disclosure, I was a fairly spoiled brat, to be honest with you, when I was quite young. My older brothers and sisters basically decided that the easiest way to get me out of their way was to give me what I wanted, and so I went around throwing temper tantrums and stuff when I was a young kid, And but I really couldn't stand, obviously if people made fun of me back in the day. And all of my siblings, I would get mad because, one of my siblings or some kid in the neighborhood or whatever would call me a name. Okay. And I would get mad because they were disrespecting me. Okay. And I would get mad and try to lash out at them. And over a course of time, my parents and my siblings kept saying, "Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you." And over the course of my 58 years on this planet, I have come to really, I know it's a simple concept. I know it's a simple, stupid little saying that kids, say. But honestly, come on. I mean, if you reach a certain level of maturity, someone calls you a name. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to be happy about it. And I'm not suggesting that you don't say, "Hey, you're disrespecting me, and I don't like it." Okay? But this stuff where people just go off, and our president, the president of this country, he is a poster child for what not to do when faced with people, saying things that you don't like. He goes on these Twitter tirades all the time, and in many of his speeches now, he's using profanity on a regular basis, and I've read and watched some videos where he's and some of the Christians and Christian conservatives are getting upset with him because he's taking the Lord's name in vain on a fairly regular basis these days, along with the F-bombs and all the other stuff that he says in his speeches, and all the rhetoric. And as I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, Mr. Trump is, for sure, this is not opinion, he is a con man and narcissist, but he's a con man. And secondly, he is entering early onset dementia. And, this combination basically means that he is incapable of resisting when someone insults him. So the current president of the United States, if you say kind things to him, he'll do whatever you want for him. And if you say something negative in any way, shape, or form, then he gets furious at you. And, and in the recent days, there's been this back and forth between Anthony Scaramucci, which is a former friend of Trump, and Mr. Trump, and now it's going back and forth there. But the bottom line is we owe each other much better, some level of maturity here, folks. So I know it's silly and it's a silly childhood rhyme, but honestly, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Please, and again, if you're African American and someone uses the N-word, I don't blame you for being upset. You should be, but in a constrained way, okay? And you can voice. That is, a horrible thing for you to say, and that just incites anger. You should not be doing that, but then that's it. Just walk away. There is another day. And all you're doing and if you end up getting hold of this video where Chris Cuomo is, all he's doing is hurting himself. He's hurting himself. There's no question that by doing what he did and getting so unbelievably charged and angry, that he didn't hurt himself as a person and hurt his career in getting overly angry, overly aggressive because someone calls you a name. Okay? It's not right. They shouldn't be calling you names. But the more, and it's true, and this is, the more that you react, the more people try to do it. It's just like being on the playground. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. All right, so for the makeup show for August 11th, this is Michael James Ott, and until the next show, bye for now.